Good evening. This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Kettering City Council. Today's date is January 27, 2026. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me in a prayer, a moment of silence. God of wisdom and care, we give thanks for this community and the chance to serve it together. Guide our work tonight with clarity, cooperation, and respect. Help us face challenges with courage and strengthen us to be neighbors who help neighbors in times of crisis and times that are easier. May our decisions tonight reflect fairness, compassion, and the common good. Thank you. Next, I'd like to recognize our Miami Valley Cable Communications Council TV operator, Evan Russell, who I paid attention to tonight. I remembered. Thank you for your assistance tonight, Evan. We now call upon Ms. Duvall for a motion to approve the minutes.
Yes, Your Honor. I have reviewed the minutes and find them to be in order, and I move for their approval.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll call the roll.
Ms. Duvall?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mayor Suddeth?
Yes. Tonight we have a public hearing on a proposed street name change, clarification on Shantz Avenue, Patterson Boulevard. Well, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. I got so excited. I've got Maggie's notes. I was ready to go, and I just bypassed Bill Sherhart and a proclamation for the America's 250th. Sorry, Bill. We had just talked about it 6 minutes ago, and I forgot.
That's okay, Your Honor.
Okay. I will call on Council Member Arbor for tonight's proclamation on America's 250.
Thank you, Your Honor. Whereas a resolution supporting the America 250 OH, the Ohio Commission for the United States of Semi-Quincentennial. Whereas the City of Kettering, Ohio proudly supports the Ohio Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial. And whereas the Ohio legislation and the Governor of Ohio established America's 250 Ohio in 2021 to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemorization of the 250 anniversary of the founding of the United States of America, and to recognize Ohio's integral role in the nation's past, present, and future. And whereas America's 250 OH seeks to engage all Ohioans in all 88 counties through a wide variety of signature and officially recognized programs and projects and events over the coming years, inspiring future leaders and celebrating the contributions of Ohioans to the nation over the last 250 years. And whereas through the adoption of the America 250 OH resolution, the City of Kettering affirms its commitment to the mission to educate, preserve, innovate, and celebrate. Now, therefore, to be resolved that I, Laura Arbor, on behalf of Mayor Suddeth, Mayor of the City of Kettering, Ohio, on behalf of City Council and the community, do hereby endorse America 250 OH and submission to educate, preserve, innovate, and celebrate every Ohioan in every county, and to be further resolved that a copy of this resolution to be transmitted to the appropriate municipal legislative authorities and to the America 250 OH Commission.
Well, good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Stand here today with Ms. Shana McConville, our Cultural Arts Manager, who will be sharing some remarks as well. On behalf of the City of Kettering, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and all of our partners who will help bring this initiative to life, thank you for recognizing Kettering as an official America 250 community and for presenting this proclamation. We are truly grateful for your leadership and support as we join communities across Ohio in honoring America's 250th anniversary. This designation is meaningful not only because it celebrates our history, but because it highlights the pride, creativity, and civic spirit that defines Kettering. Throughout 2026, Kettering will host a year-long series of events that celebrate Ohio's contributions to history, culture, innovation, and community. And to tell you more about some of those events is Ms. Shana McConville.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for recognizing America 250. I'm very happy to work with a great community of people who are celebrating this. So it's happening throughout the city with different departments, including planning and development, volunteer, gosh, you name it, someone from every department, police, et cetera, are involved. But so are community members, and so are various organizations throughout the city, including the Dayton Metro Library, the 2 branches that are local, and the Charles F. Kettering Foundation, a lot of really great organizations. So there's a lot to celebrate with Kettering. Of course, our namesake, Charles F. Kettering, has given us quite a bit to celebrate, with January's theme being innovators. Ohio's Originals is the theme in January, with Innovators in February. So we have a lot to celebrate for sure. And we just really want to thank you all for your support. And if you're interested in being more involved with it, to all of you, you can check out ketteringoh.org/America-250-Ohio to find out the latest events throughout the city. Thank you.
Thank you both. And now we have a public hearing on a proposed street name change, clarification for Shantz Avenue and Patterson Boulevard, and proposed street name change, clarification, and address changes on Smithville. First, city staff, Mr. Brickchester, will make a presentation. After that presentation, we'll take comments from those persons who are present tonight and wish to be heard on this topic. Comments will be limited to 5 minutes per person. Now I will open this public hearing. Mr. Brickchester.
Thank you, Your Honor. The real reason people came to see the meeting tonight, so you couldn't wait to get started on this. This is one of those unique things that comes up in local government that maybe once or twice in a career that you have to worry about something like this, especially in a built-out city like Kettering. But there are 3 streets in Kettering that we need to make some clarifications to the name, and then also change some property addresses. So those 3 streets are listed up on the screen: Smithville Road, Shantz Avenue, and Patterson Boulevard. Why this is coming up, a couple reasons. One, we've known there's been some inconsistencies in addresses on Smithville Road. It's only affected a handful of properties between us and the city of Dayton, so has not been a real high priority for us to address over the years. However, we do have a newer, higher priority that is the reason we're here tonight, and that is the changes that we need to make for conversion to what's known as the Next Gen 911 system that the city will be adopting. So essentially what Next Gen 911 is, it's a conversion from an old copper wire phone system. So when you dial 911 in the past, it would use copper wires to connect you to the dispatch center. In the future, that will use voice over IP technology, or basically internet protocol technology, and all the address maps will be GIS based, or geographic information systems based. So think electronic maps as what it will be based on. Because it can be based on an electronic map, the county, Montgomery County, needs to have an accurate map of all of the addresses throughout the county and all of the street names throughout the county. What's most important is that they can't have any duplicates in addresses, and they can't have inconsistent street names from one jurisdiction to the next. So we have a couple of these instances that we need to address, no pun intended, but that we need to make them consistent and avoid the duplication. So I've got a couple maps if you want to advance to the next slide. I know it's a little bit hard to read with the text there, but essentially this is Smithville Road in Kettering. So this is north of the split with Wilmington Pike. What's shown on the screen, on the top of the screen, is roughly the corporation boundary with the city of Dayton. The Van Buren Village apartments are on the right-hand side of the screen, along with Van Buren Park, and at the very bottom is Ford Boulevard. So this area of Smithville is residential in nature, primarily. If you go to the next one. It also involves the section of Smithville that in Kettering that is more commercial in nature. So between 4 and Wilmington Pike with the split, you can see the Kettering Courts building is on the left-hand side of the screen off of Wilmington Pike. So this is area around Domino's Pizza and the strip center that's next to the former Van Buren Shopping Center as well. Particularly in the residential area of our section of Smithville, if you go to the next slide, there are duplications between addresses. So what this area is showing is the area of Smithville Road in the city of Dayton, which is near Immaculate Conception Parish and School, up in like the Belmont area of Dayton. The address range is in the 2100 block is similar and the same than the address range in Dayton. And so, in a best case scenario, you're getting packages delivered to the wrong address. You're getting utilities that are not directed to the right address. A worst case scenario is you call 911 and the dispatchers send the paramedics or fire engine to the wrong address. And that's what we're trying to avoid here by doing this, and why we have to go through a readdressing project on Smithville. So it'll affect about, the readdressing alone will affect about 81 properties in our section of Smithville, south of the Dayton border. The other thing I mentioned earlier was that we need to have consistent street names between us and surrounding jurisdictions when one of those streets crosses the corporation boundary to get into Kettering. So what we're proposing for our section of Smithville is to officially, I guess, clarify the name that it will be South Smithville Road instead of just plain Smithville. So in Dayton, you have a North Smithville Road. You also have a South Smithville Road, depending on where you're at in the city. And then we will need to continue South Smithville Road into Kettering all the way down to Wilmington Pike. And we will change the street name signs to reflect that, as well as notify the appropriate authorities as well for the name change. There are 2 other streets that this is affected by. If you go to the next slide, I have a quick map showing where those are at. Slide. This is on West Shantz and Patterson Boulevard. So this is in the far northwest corner of Kettering, up near the Carolina Historical Park, UD's River Campus. The Great Miami River is kind of tucked up there in the corner of the screen. So we'll talk about Shantz first. So in the city of Oakwood, they have a West Shantz and they have an East Shantz. The split is at Far Hills. So west of Far Hills, West Shantz, vice versa for East Shantz. When you hit the Kettering border, it turns into just plain Shantz Road, which creates an inconsistency for dispatching for emergency personnel, them not knowing exactly which Shantz they're supposed to go to. So we are proposing to clarify the name of Kettering's Shantz Avenue to be West Shantz Avenue officially. Same thing for Patterson Boulevard. When you head south out of Dayton, again past Caroline Park, you will, south of Shantz Avenue, you will take Patterson Boulevard all the way down to Dorothy Lane. So in Dayton, again, from Caroline Park up to downtown Dayton, it's known as South Patterson Boulevard. And so to maintain that consistency for the entire length of it, we need to rename or clarify the name to South Patterson Boulevard in Kettering. Go to the next slide. So why are we here tonight to do this? Why can't we just go ahead and do this without any kind of public notice or anything like that? We have a codified ordinance, it's Chapter 905, that governs these types of activities. So one of the requirements of that codified ordinance is that we conduct a public hearing to gather testimony and feedback from the public as to whether they're for or against the proposal. I can tell you that I've received 2 emails from all the residents that we had to notify regarding this change. One is on Smithville, one is on Shantz. Both were in favor. They couldn't attend the meeting tonight, but they wanted me to communicate that they are in favor of it. Mainly from the standpoint that they have issues either with utility shutoffs from a similar property in Dayton that didn't pay their water bill or electric bill, and they get theirs shut off because there's a miscommunication. Or in the case on Shantz, they've had issues with package deliveries in the past, and so they're definitely in favor of this. So after tonight, after we conduct the public hearing, there will be an ordinance to clarify the street names, again, for South Patterson, West Shantz, and South Smithville. We are also recommending a minor text change to codified ordinance section 905.01. That section of 905 authorizes the city engineer, myself, to maintain the address book or the official address list for the city of Kettering. It doesn't specifically give me or anyone in my position the vested authority to change addresses. So our law director is recommending that we clarify that as well in the ordinance. So we are recommending that change. Like any standard ordinance, we will have 2 readings. The first reading is proposed for first meeting in February, and the second reading, and assuming adoption of the ordinance, would occur on February 24th. We have notified property owners of this public hearing tonight, so they're aware of this issue that's pending. And once the ordinance is changed to officially change the street names or clarify the street names, we will then notify property owners on Smithville about what their new address is, along with a long list of potential entities they may want to contact for the address change. So with that, Your Honor, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
This time we'll open the floor to anyone that wishes to speak before council about this proposal. We do limit to 5 minutes, and to come to the podium with your name and address. The time is now. No one's moving or leaning forward. Seeing none, we'll close this public hearing. This hearing is now closed. City Council will consider legislation regarding this matter at a future meeting. And with that, we'll move on to the next item. We have an ordinance in second reading. We have ordinance in second reading. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Thank you. Too many notes up here. Anyone wishing to speak before council with comments on new or give new information about the legislation on tonight's agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Speakers must state their name and address. Comments should be addressed to council. If you have comments that are not about the legislation on tonight's agenda, there will be an opportunity for those to be heard later this meeting. Anyone wish to speak on tonight's agenda items at this time? Still, nobody. Okay, with that, we'll move on to ordinances in second reading. Ms. Duval?
I have an ordinance to amend the text of various sections of the City of Kettering zoning code. This is requested by Planning and Development. This is second reading, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Chudowski?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This particular legislation will provide amendments to the city zoning code that will introduce greater flexibility in regards to establishing standalone surface parking lots adjacent to commercial districts. We would ask that City Council adopt this legislation in support of further economic development efforts this evening.
Any questions or comments from Mr. Chudowski? Hearing none, call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mayor Sutton?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the 2026 curb, sidewalk, and drive approach repair program, city project number 05-126. The estimated cost and the amount budget is $1,850,000. This is requested by the engineering department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser?
Thank you, Your Honor. This project for our 2026 curb, sidewalk, and drive approach repair program includes concrete repair of such items on streets in what we refer to as the Fairmont Acres East, Miriam Acres Phase 1 area. That is, for those of you who don't know where that is, it's immediately north of Alter High School, across from David Road. So that neighborhood off of Renwood, both east and west sides of Renwood, for a couple streets north of David. So that is one area. Again, that will be mostly spot repair and resurfacing of the roadways. We also have a project on Fairmont Avenue, which is south of Dorothy, sort of near the Ridgeway Bridge, that will rebuild and replace all of the curbing, spot repairs to the sidewalks, and then also will resurface the roadway. And then we have a third project that will make some improvements to the last section of sidewalk on West Stroop Road between Ridgeway and Overland. There's an existing walk there, but it's not in the best shape. There's a lot of overgrown vegetation, some elevation changes we need to, and erosion we need to address so that it can be used in correspondence with the two new sidewalks that were built on either side of it. Again, that's from Ridgeway to Overland on West Stroop. And then the fourth area will be just a lot of miscellaneous locations that we received complaints about with trip hazards and things like that. I will note that we're using about $950,000 from our gas tax program, which is funds that were passed a number of years ago by the state of Ohio to increase their gas tax. And that is money that comes directly to the city of Kettering that we allocate towards residential resurfacing. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Bergstresser? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the Kettering Business Park PED Bike Connector, City Project Number 01504Z. The estimated cost is $125,000. That's the amount budgeted. It was requested by the engineering department. I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This project is not the most expensive or a dramatic project in the world, but it has a chance to be very beneficial to those wishing to bike and walk in Kettering and between Kettering and the city of Dayton. So as you know, the Kettering Business Park backs up to the Patterson Park neighborhood in Dayton. There's a opportunity to make a short connection between Greenmont Avenue in the city of Dayton and the Kettering Business Park streets, Composite Drive, I believe. That would include new sidewalks and a new bike and pedestrian pathway that would allow residents, both with City of Dayton and City of Kettering, to make a connection, between a bike or ped connection between the two cities and avoid almost a 1 mile alternate route down to the south in order to connect over the Dayton-Kettering connector bike path. So again, not a huge project, but it really, we're excited about it to be impactful for bike and ped opportunities, both to and from the Kettering Business Park, but also folks traveling in that area of Kettering. We have been coordinating with the City of Dayton. They have been coordinating with the Patterson Park neighborhood. Everyone is in favor of the project, and we'd be happy to move forward with it upon approval. Happy to answer any questions.
No questions? Seeing none, call the roll.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the MOT 835 PED Bike Path, City Project Number 050040, ODOT Project MOT SR 835 PED Bike Path, PID 123306. The amount, estimated cost is $714,000. That is the amount budgeted, is requested by the engineering department. I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, staying on the PED bike theme for resolutions tonight, this is another exciting project in the Mine Valley Research Park, adjacent to the Sixth River development. This would build a new PED and bike path from the intersection of Research Boulevard and County Line Road, which a portion of the Iron Horse Bike Trail, runs along that section. So this is a spur basically that runs off of that trail over to the Sixth River development. We are happy to announce that we've received funding from the Ohio Department of Transportation for 100% of the construction costs for this project. So that was a nice bit of news that we received from ODOT last year. I would note that this is being done in advance of a bridge replacement project that ODOT is planning to conduct in 2027. So once this project is complete later this year, there will be a bit of a bike path to nowhere situation. It will end short of the bridge on either side, but then ODOT will come in next year to replace the bridge, and they've agreed to widen the existing bridge with a new bridge that will accommodate the ped and bike path. So it's a good partnership between us and ODOT. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Bergstresser? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for property maintenance at Kettering Business Park. $65,000 estimated with $65,000 budgeted. This is requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a continuation of a landscape contractor maintained contract that we've had with, with a private contractor for general property maintenance within the city-owned areas within the Kettering Business Park. So I think the general common areas around the roundabout, the area around Building 46, which is the courts building, and other areas that are designated as to be city-maintained within the business park. It's served us well in the past to have a contractor maintain these areas as opposed to city staff, which frees our staff up to work in other places around the city. So we would like to move forward with a similar situation. We are bringing this before council tonight because the contract that we had been under has now expired, and this would be a new request for proposals process. Happy to answer questions.
Questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for the repair and renovation of the asphalt paths and a paver patio at Poland Farm. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $120,000. This is requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is another phase of patio pavers replacement around the Poland Farm area. We've had a couple phases of projects around the house, and now this project would replace the pavers near the event barn and also some of the asphalt paths leading from the parking lot to the barn. So completion of a multi-phase project, and be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for the maintenance, removal, and replacement of trees on city-owned properties. The estimated cost is $75,000, and the amount budget is $135,000. This is requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser, one more time.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an annual contract that we have with a contractor, tree care contractor, for the removal and replacement of trees on city-owned properties, medians, various park spaces, trees that our staff aren't able to maintain or remove in the case of damaged or diseased trees. So the resolution tonight will allow us to seek proposals for such work and also contract for the work as well. Be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Bergstresser? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with James Dunlap for technical director services for the 2026 Phrase performance season. The estimated cost is $50,000. The amount budgeted is the same. This was requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor, it's hard to imagine with the weather outside that we're already planning for beautiful summer nights at the Phrase, but we are with this and the next two items on your agenda. This request is for the technical director services with Mr. Dunlap, who has assisted us in the past. And essentially, he assists us with the execution of events and makes the concerts sound great. And we recommend approval. Be glad to answer any questions you have.
Questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to negotiate and enter into contracts for entertainment for the Phrase Pavilion 2026 performance season. Estimated cost, $2,616,000. That is the amount budgeted and is requested by Parks, Recreation, Cultural Arts Department. I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor. This is our annual request to have the authority to enter into contracts with various artists that we're able to attract, consistent with the city's budget to perform at the Phrase Pavilion, in this case during the 2026 season. We budget a fair amount for this, but we try to offset as much of that budget as possible with event revenues. Be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase television, radio, newspaper, billboard, internet advertising for the 2026 Phrase Pavilion performance season from various sources. $134,000 estimated, $134,000 budgeted. This is requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last Phrase item tonight, and that is to purchase television, radio, newspaper, billboard, and internet advertising and provide the authority for the staff to do so. That is necessary when we enter into contracts with performers. We have a shared responsibility to try to promote these events and generate revenue, and so this gives us the authorization to do that consistent with our budget. Competitive bargaining is not practical due to the nature and type of these purchases because sources have fixed rates. Advertising sources have fixed rates, and so we're seeking this resolution for me to have the authority to make those purchases. Glad to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Mr. Greason? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with App Architecture, Inc. for demolition design and specification drafting services related to Wilmington Heights Shopping Center. Estimated cost is $79,632. There is no amount budgeted. This is requested by the Planning and Development Department. I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Chudowski?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This legislation is necessary to advance the enforcement of the city's property maintenance code for a portion of the Wilmington Heights Shopping Center, commonly known as Wilmington Heights or the Karis property. Wilmington Heights straddles two separate parcels of property. Parcel 1, the subject of this legislation, is largely vacant and includes addresses 4614, 4618, 4624, 4626, 4634, 4638, 4650, 4652, and 4658 Wilmington Pike. Parcel 2, which is not the subject of this enforcement effort, is largely occupied by Troney Brothers Pizza and Kings Point Pub, addressed as 4654 and 4660 Wilmington Pike, respectively. The city initiated code enforcement efforts with respect to Parcel 1 on or about August 20th, 2021. Between that time and May 30 of 2025, the city provided more than 42 inspection compliance opportunities for the owners of Parcel 1 to bring the property into compliance with the city's property maintenance code. In early June 2025, the owners of Parcel 1 received notice via certified mail that the city intended to take formal actions under the property maintenance code to bring Parcel 1 into compliance with the city's codes. The owners of Parcel 1 then exercised their right to appeal the city's intended action. On July 29, 2025, a meeting of the Property Maintenance Appeals Board was convened for the owners of Parcel 1 to present testimony and evidence to demonstrate Parcel 1 was either in compliance to or becoming compliant to the Property Maintenance Code. On August 12, 2025, the Property Maintenance Appeals Board issued its decision sustaining the city's need to abate Parcel 1 and bring it into compliance with the city's Property Maintenance Code. The owners of Parcel 1 received notice of the board's findings on July 21st, 2025. The owners of Parcel 1 had the right to appeal the Property Maintenance Board decision to Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas on or before August 20th of 2025. The owners of Parcel 1 did not exercise that right. It is the intent of the city to establish code compliance on Parcel 1 by removing the blighted structure. Unlike previous similar situations, this particular situation is more complex, as the non-compliant structure on Parcel 1 is attached to a compliant structure on Parcel 2. Due to this unique circumstance, it is necessary to engage the services of an architect or engineer to design demolition plans to accomplish code compliance. App architecture is being recommended for this role due to the existing ongoing services agreement between both the city and App architecture. Costs associated with this legislation will be assessed to Parcel 1 for cost recovery at a future date. Staff recommends council approve this particular legislation this evening. Happy to answer any questions or concerns.
Any questions from Mr. Chudowski? It's a long process.
With more to come, sir.
No questions or comment? Call the roll.
Thank you. Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for insurance and other benefits and related administrative services for the employees of the City of Kettering, Kettering Municipal Court, and the Office of the Clerk of the Kettering Municipal Court. This is requested by the Human Resources Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to ask our Human Resources Director, Ms. Smith, to address this item.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Your Honor. To ensure that the city avails itself to the best competitive rates, we send out a market review request for proposals via the city's broker, McGough and Brabender. We may also use negotiated quotes to obtain the advantages of early renewals with carriers. The market review or request for proposal places the majority of the city's benefits components on the open market, after which we will receive preliminary responses for competitive carriers, analyze those responses, and negotiate with those carriers and providers of administrative services to obtain better pricing. This resolution will authorize the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for insurance and other benefits related to administrative services for the employees of the City of Kettering, the Kettering Municipal Court, and the Office of the Clerk of the Kettering Municipal Court. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with P&R Communications Service, Inc. for the purchase of 44 portable radios for the Kettering Police and Fire Departments. The estimated cost for fire is $289,032. The police estimated cost is $77,766.70. The amount budgeted for fire was $290,000. The amount budgeted for police is $85,000. This is requested by the police and fire department. I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason.
Yes, Your Honor. We periodically have to replace older model radios that are no longer being supported by Motorola, who is the technology provider for our public safety radios. This contract is for the purchase of 10 Motorola handheld N70 portable radios for police and 34 Motorola handheld N70 portable radios for the fire department. These radios were included in our 2026 capital equipment budgeting process, so we made plans for this through our budget. And P&R Communications Service, Inc. is the Dayton area authorized seller of Motorola equipment, I guess is the right way to say it. Chief, would you like to add anything?
Your Honor, I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase bunker gear for the fire department. Estimated cost $52,140 is requested by the fire department. I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason.
Yes, Your Honor. National Fire Protection, or NFPA standards, recommend that we replace bunker gear and not have it exceed 10 years of life for safety purposes. So this purchase allows the replacement of 12 sets of gear as part of our department's annual gear replacement plan, consistent with those standards. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution to make supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Kettering, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. The estimated amount is $79,700. Amount budgeted is $0. Requested by the Finance Department, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason.
Yes, Your Honor. As is our practice, once you approve an item, we also need to appropriate the funds to make the expenditure. And in this case, this is the supplemental appropriation for the $79,700 that we will spend with app architecture, doing the drawings, demolition specifications, and inspections for the nuisance abatement process at Wilmington Heights Shopping Center that Mr. Chakowski so artfully described. Be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Arbor?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Sudduth?
Yes. We have no ordinances of first reading. Ms. Hayslip, do we have any certifications or petitions?
Your Honor, we do not have any certifications or petitions this evening. Thank you.
At this time, I'll call on Mr. Greason for the manager report and community update.
Yes, Your Honor. I first want to give my thanks to the many men and women who have been working extensively this weekend. I think we have a crew on their fourth 12-hour shift coming in soon. And I'm pleased to say that hopefully by morning we will have addressed many of the concerns that people have with plowing of all of Kettering's roadways. My compliments and deep gratitude to our service department employees, our parks maintenance employees, our engineering staff, all who rolled in together as one team to address a significant storm, and to all of our directors and our communications engagement folks in front desk staff who answered many questions over the weekend and today of our residents. We appreciate our residents' patience as we've worked through all of the streets, and we're thankful for their support. I also wanted to reiterate that while it's cold and not many people are walking this weekend, we have a significant effort underway with our partners at the schools and other community partners to promote pedestrians, drivers, everyone, to be attentive, watch out, try not to be distracted when you're driving, and pay attention to the rules. We want everyone to cross safe in Kettering. The State of the City will be presented on February 24th at 7:30 p.m. in council chambers. And so we're excited about that, and we appreciate all the work that's been going into that. It is also time for, it is actually the 43rd year of the Mayor's Award for recognizing volunteer service. So that was established in 1983, and it honors outstanding volunteers who make a valuable contribution to our community. And there are a wide variety of categories that we recognize. Recipients of this award can either be a resident of Kettering or their volunteer service can be performed in Kettering. It can be a group or it could be an individual. The award winners will be recognized at a city council meeting in April, which is during National Volunteer Week. If you know an outstanding volunteer, please submit their nomination, and you can get information on our website at the link on the screen. The AARP Foundation Tax Aid Program is offering free tax prep to anyone, including residents who are 50 years of age and older, and we are taking appointments for that. That began on January 13th, and residents can call the number on the screen to schedule an appointment if they need assistance. This is a great program. We have many volunteers that assist in that, and they provide a valuable service to our residents. On President's Day, February 16th, we wanted to note that administrative offices will be closed. And we also always take the opportunity to highlight the availability of our blood pressure clinics, where we're trying to ensure the health and wellness of our residents. There is one remaining January date, and there are dates in February and March, which are on the screen. We conduct that activity at the Dayton Metro Library Kettering Moraine branch on Far Hills. And I noticed the last time, and I'll say it again, they put it on the screen, or they put it on the graphic, coffees and cookies are provided. Maybe that'll attract a few more people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Greason. This time, if you'd like to come speak before City Council, please come down to the podium. Each speaker will have a 5-minute limit. Speakers are asked to state their name and address. If there's anyone who would like to speak before City Council, the podium is yours. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Austin Vega, 3133 Lulu Drive. Greetings, members of City Council and Your Honor. I come before you because we are in a crisis. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, commonly known as ICE, recently circulated a memo authorizing entry into homes with an administrative warrant, which is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. We expect that any officer of the law would follow the Constitution, and if the federal government is failing to protect our civil liberties, then our local government must rise to meet the challenge. Citizens and residents of Kettering have a constitutional right to the privacy of their homes, and I'm calling on both the council and the mayor to do everything in their power to uphold this right. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I just have a few things. I struggle a lot, so it's hard for me. But my main reason here today is because of the
Can
Kettering.
you state your name and address before you start? Sorry.
My name is Aaron Hamblin. I reside at 3116 Ridgemore Avenue. This all stemmed from Regina Beer, which is a private property maintenance inspector in my neighborhood. I believe Mr. Scott is the council member for the district. But, you know, I explained my hardship to her. I explained that, I lost my job, I lost my father. I went into a deep depression. I explained all this, and she responded by issuing more frequent reinspection fees. When I went to Tom Rolard about the situation, he backed her up, her decisions up, no matter what she did. When I spoke to Brian Tchaikovsky about it, he backed her up as well. I asked them all if they looked into her targeting me or harassing me, and they all said no, but they all assured me that she was not. I spoke to the city manager, Mr. Greason. He assured me again that she was not. I'm under the impression that she is a private property inspector, which, you know, within one day of me looking into her, I found out that she was a retired police officer, and she was still policing me on the street. She was calling to have my tires marked for overtime parking. She was calling to have my car towed for an expired tag. And she also called and had my trailers towed from in front of my house as well. When I spoke to Mr. Greason about it, he assured me that she wasn't, and then told me that I could seek public records myself. So as I was seeking the public records, on February 10th, the first day I went for the record, I was told that I had to write down my request. So when I asked to speak to a supervisor, because I'm under the impression I don't have to write it down, Lieutenant Kavanaugh came out and told me I must write it down. So eventually, Captain Savino came down and gave me the information. When I made the complaint to Lieutenant Kavanaugh's supervisor about him breaking the law, the Ohio Revised Code, he wouldn't take the complaint at all. He didn't do anything about it, didn't write it down. So that led to February 14th, me coming to the law office looking for public records as well. And when I spoke to Ms. Henderson about it, she told me that she wouldn't write down the reason why I was being denied the request to inspect the records. And then I asked to speak to her supervisor. As I was waiting to speak to her supervisor, she told me to have a seat wherever I'd like. As I was waiting to speak to a supervisor, I was approached by Sergeant Morgan and Officer Spinks, who forced me out of coerced me, told me I was going to or pulled their handcuffs out, told me that I had to leave the law office to talk to them outside. I asked them if it was a lawful order. They said yes. So when I got into the law office, or when I got into the lobby, Lieutenant Kavanaugh came in and said he knows all about me, and proceeded to tell me I wasn't going to get my request that day again. Then he had Officer Lowell physically force me out by yanking my hands around, putting them behind my back, and shoving me out the door. He told me that it was because either I was trespassing because they told me to leave, but I didn't break any laws to be told to leave. I later found out that there was a panic button hit, possibly, but there is no longer the panic button. And then, February 25th, a couple weeks later at the council meeting, there was a resolution for the city manager to spend $250,000 on updates for the security system at the government center here. When Mr. Abernathy said that a couple years prior, they just did a major update on the camera. So I'm not sure if there's a cover-up going on or not, but I would like somebody to look into it. And I would like an outside independent investigator to look into it, because I don't trust the police department to do it. When I spoke to Chief Protzman about the issue, he also told me that he wasn't going to take my complaints. After numerous attempts to try to get him to watch the video, he finally watched the video and said that there was no reason for a panic button to be hit, and there was also no reason for that I was not being disorderly. So I don't know why I was thrown out of the police. I don't know why I was thrown out of the lobby, but it's all stemming from Regina Beer issuing me numerous fines at my house and me seeking public records to find it. She's abusing her power, her relationships, her ex-relationship with the police department, and enforcing the code enforcement on my property. And I would like for that not to happen. When I learned that she is no longer with the city now, and the new inspector was a Seth Crater, and he again responded by issuing me a notice of violation based on her letter that she left him to do this, and it was based on a street violation, my trailers being on the street, not even on the property. So I don't understand why I keep getting harassed. My street is 5,000 feet long, or I'm sorry, 2,500 feet long. I've explained to Tom Robillard, Brian Tchaikovsky, Mr. Greason, that there's at least 5 different houses on my same street that I drive past every single day that still to this day have those violations. And they are not being fixed. They are not. There was one house that I seen that finally put up a fence around their trailer, but right next door to that they have a boat in their yard. There's numerous violations on my same street that has the same violations, and nobody wants to do anything about it.
Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention tonight, and we will follow up. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Sutter. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Doug Conan. I'm the owner of Aerotech Environmental. I reside, or my business resides, at 3508 Wilmington Pike here in Kettering. It's been in business for, I guess, probably over 15 years at that location. Since that time, I've used trailers. I've had a shed on the property for my business. And I was recently visited by one of the code enforcement officers that wasn't happy about. He gave me a violation. I repeatedly sent emails to him. I wanted to meet him at the property, which he refused to do so. Yeah. And I've had an issue with the city for over 6 years where I've had numerous damages to the basement of my building, and the code enforcement group completely has ignored my request to resolve the damage. The damage is caused by storm water that has creeped on my property from the adjacent properties. It's been so bad that the county has stopped by, was assured that there was a water leak on the property. They investigated it, and then they said, no, absolutely isn't a water line issue. It's coming from the neighborhood. So the last 6 years, I've been enduring loss of business. I've had over $25,000 in damages. That's just pumping it out and getting it dried up, and I still can't use it. I brought this to the attention of the officer, the code officer. He's completely ignored it, as well as it has been ignored in the past. I want a commitment from the city to stand behind their codes. This is a sanitary issue. This is a dangerous issue that a code officer is deliberately ignoring. Now, what does he go after me for? He said I have a boat and I have trailers. The boat, yes, I should move that, but I haven't found a place yet on it. The trailers are part of my business. I wanted to meet with them about it and talk with them about it. My wife is very sick. I have an autistic granddaughter that I take care of as well. So I don't have all the time in the world to mess around and wait. My wife was actually in the hospital 3 times during the last month in the ER, so I've been trying to resolve this, and it's important to me. But I've been let down by the city for many years, and I'm not very happy about it. Then he comes up with a fine of $100. Well, if you read the code enforcement law, he can't charge me that. It says $85. That just shows the lack of knowledge of some of the code enforcement people that are there. Also had a property I was trying to develop on Wilmington Pike. It was at 3916. It's the former Kawasaki building. I jumped through so many hoops over the years. So frustrating. And I was stalled, taken advantage of. I finally did sell it to the city at a very low price, would have been twice the value in another city. But it cost me, my father-in-law had bought it, the property initially. He passed away. Before he passed away, he gave it to me because he was dealing with cancer. And personally, it hurt me a lot, trying to work with a planning and development property. So when I hear now, coming up, we've got this new this new comprehensive plan of 2026, I hope you look at that really close, really close. The last plan was in 2013 for the Wilmington Pike development or improvement. There's only one person that really benefited out of that, and that was one of the members of the committee. He bought a building for $1. $1. This depressed all the property around it. This is not how the city should be operating. This is not how planning and development should, or the code enforcement be. So I reluctantly sold that at a much lower price. So I think the new plan needs to definitely have small business retainage as part of it. Wilmington Pike has suffered for it, build businesses. If you look at the research, which isn't in your plan, there have been more businesses going out of business out of there, and it's just turning into vacant land. Vacant land is not helping our city. Vacant land is not helping our schools with taxes, get them funds. So seriously look at this, and I'm sure I'm probably running out of time.
Yes, sir.
Please look at that for the sake of for our schools, and also for small businesses that are struggling and trying to do work. We don't need the harassment of the code enforcement people. We need ambassadors for the city, not people putting up more hurdles.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention tonight. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Any other comments tonight? With that, we'll transition to council reports, and we'll start with Vice Mayor Lisa Duvall.
Thank you. I have a few things, but I'll be fast. First of all, I want to echo what Mr. Greason said about the street crews. Every time we have a snow event, I'm astounded by how many different departments in the city come together to clear the roads and make sure we're safe and to communicate with the public. It's astounding the work they do, and they did a great job. So just wanted to say that. Couple of very small updates. I am very excited. I was chosen for the First Tier Suburbs Committee for the National League of Cities, and also to a different council there, the Real Council. So I'm very excited about those. Excited to bring back some ideas from other local leaders across the country. And I also just want to give a little shout out to the Centerville, Washington Diversity Council. They hosted a Martin Luther King Jr. Day breakfast, and it was such a great event. It was very well run, wonderful speaker. I think she was a former ambassador, not current, former ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield. She was fantastic. It was a wonderful event, and I just want to thank them, and that's all I have.
Mr. Sullivan.
I would like to also extend my thanks and appreciation to all of our crew members out there plowing the streets. That can't be said enough, I think. And I'd also like to speak to the Cross Safe Kettering. Since we have started talking about that, I've had 2 parents reach out just thanking that there's been an increase in, or they're noticing more anyway, officers patrolling in the mornings when people are dropping off at school. And I've seen it as well on Troyer as I'm heading into Fairmont in the morning. So good job on that. People are noticing, and hopefully that means we're going to be safer and our kids will be safer. And that's it for me.
I think we're all going to say how amazing we think the public workers were and going through and getting the snow removed. I know personally I was standing on my street this afternoon and had 3 plows go by. I know they're so busy trying to get everything cleaned up, but they did an amazing job. So I do want to talk about some ideas for some indoor fun since it's so cold out. There is an amazing exhibition happening right now at Rosewood Art Center. It's the 36th annual Dayton Works on Paper. This is a juried show that features artists from the Dayton area. So you have to live within a 40-mile radius to be part of the juried show. It's an annual exhibition, and it features 2- and 3-dimensional works of art on the paper. I did visit last week, and it's a wonderful show, and it's actually one of my favorites every year. The show runs until February 28th, so with the cold weather, this is a great time to go and visit the gallery, and you can also vote for your favorite artwork in the People's Choice Award. That's all for me.
Mr. Scott.
I can attest to the snowplow crews. I live on one of the busiest streets in Kettering. I couldn't count how many times I saw the plows going up and down my road. Quick comment, weekend before last was the 23rd Flying to the Hoop at our beloved Trent Arena. Very well attended. The promoter for that said it was the best one they've ever had. I was there for a number of games, big crowds, but we could still even put more people in there. But it was a great event for the city. And then it's not too soon to start thinking about February 14th and your significant other, and we have a lot of merchants in Kettering for flowers and other gifts as that date rapidly approaches.
Did Letty tell you to say that?
No, I did that to keep her from saying something to me.
Nice.
Yes, reiterating the thanks to plow drivers and the infrastructure it takes to pull that off. It's nothing short of miraculous when we have an event like this. To piggyback on what Mr. Sullivan said, the Cross Safe program I think is working well. I've seen it posted on social media. I've heard students in the schools discussing it. I think it's top of mind and will really help keep our children safe as they cross the crosswalks. The final thing I have to say is with this weather, with these temps, check on our neighbors, making sure we are, especially if you have a neighbor who's up there in age, knock on the door, see if they need anything, and let's keep safe, keep one another safe during this big event. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. A few things. Everybody's already said about the plows. I'm very excited, but also just to the neighbors who help neighbors. My neighbors helped me last night. I tried to yield to a Jeep who thought he was bigger than me. I went to the side, and then I didn't get pushed out on my 4x4. So we're glad the roads look better today when I got home. Also, just last week, Shane Sullivan and I were able to sit down with Allison Pfeiffer and the former Ohio First Lady Hope Taft to speak about the Little Miami Watershed Network and just the impact of the network in our community and just projects around the Little Beaver Creek that runs near State Farm Park to Reynolds and across to Research Park. And a surreal moment to open the door and there's Hope Taft at your porch. She's very sweet, just had lots of things to say about our watershed and our responsibility in Kettering to protect the water that we send downriver to Greene County onto the Little Miami River. Also, I was able to attend the Greater Dayton Mayors and Managers Association meeting with Mr. Greason at Wright Pat Air Force Base last week. And to you, Mr. Vega, the topic of conversation among all mayors is ICE and what our response is. And tomorrow I join mayors from across the country in Washington, D.C. for meetings, and that's a topic of conversation tomorrow, an hour after I land in the morning. It's something we're talking about, and you'll hear more, but it's something that's changing faster than we can keep up, as you know. This week, the weather's not over. It's cold, and I've heard reports of power being lost. The county was busy in my neighborhood with 2 water mains breaking just within walking distance of my home over the weekend, and my advice to you is just to keep track of your neighbors. Take care of yourselves, prepare for colder weather, prepare for slippery roads and interruptions in power and heat, and if you can, take time to check in your neighbor and care for them too. And with that, no further business to come before the City Council tonight. Our next regular scheduled council meeting will be on February 10, 2026, and this meeting is adjourned.